Hey everyone, welcome back to Real Talk. I'm your host Kelsey, here with Logan, Erin, and Chase. I hope everyone is getting an early start to spooky season as Halloween gets closer. Speaking of spooky, guys, I'm dying to know, do you have any haunted stories to talk about?
My family has so many stories, it's like actually kind of a problem.
Okay, go off, girl, go off.
So like, one that I've always heard about growing up is my family used to live in Coppers Cove, Texas, and the house was like definitely haunted. So they say that the residents beforehand were witches. Like the neighbors would say that there's like a bunch of like pinholes in my brother's bedroom. They had a mirror in front of the door, like all that kind of stuff. And they like always had a weird feeling. And like one day my dad was backing out of the driveway and he saw like a figure run across the window. And then when my mom was like checking the house when they were moving out, she saw like this little impish creature like peeking out of the closet and looking at her. And it was like the freakiest thing. And my dad didn't tell her any of the things he had seen in this house. And she's like, so I think he's like, so yeah, the house is haunted. So sorry.
Okay.
So
Definitely never going to your house. I'm sorry, I hate to break it to you. I'm super superstitious. I personally don't have any ghost experiences. However, I don't keep any mirrors across from my bed, and I'm constantly burning sage. You will not catch a ghost near me, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I have none either. I guess the spirits don't fuck with me. But you know, we'll see what happens one day.
I don't have a ghost story, but like, I'm related to a ghost story, I guess. Like my mom told me stuff about our old house after we moved out of it. So at my old house we had a pool, but the pool used to be a pond, and it was like covered over because, well, no. Let me get to the other part first. My mom, in like the guest room that would eventually become my room, my mom would always feel this like weird presence. And she was like, I can't explain why, but it's like there's a little boy. There's a little boy that's like being like, come play with me. It's like, I don't know why I'm getting these vibes, but this is the vibe that I'm getting. And then someone who used to live in our house came by one day and was like, yeah, like back when the house was built in like the 1800s or whatever, there was a little boy that drowned in the pond that used to be in our backyard, and that's why it was filled in, it was covered up. And then apparently my mom had like gone back up to the room or something. It was like, you know, it's okay, you can come out to play or whatever. And then she didn't feel that presence again once she kind of like validated it, I guess.
So you turned this pond into a pool at your house?
Yeah.
So y'all were swimming where the little boy died.
Oh, something's totally gonna pull you underwater.
Well, I don't live there anymore, so.
Absolutely not. Not to give anybody the heebie-jeebies, but I do know, I have learned that the University of Delaware itself is actually historically very, very, very haunted.
What the fuck?
There's a couple of buildings around here, like Smythe and Christiana Towers, specifically the East Building. I heard a story back in like the 90s, something like that, where a student actually fell out of a window on the 17th floor, and it's rumored that he's like still haunting that building and stuff. So yeah, I'm definitely not breaking into the towers anytime soon, so that's not for me.
Aren't they knocking them down anyway?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they are knocking them down. I just wonder when, right?
No, they've been saying that forever.
They've been saying it for like 2 years now. Like, come on.
Imagine if they were still up and running though. They had students in the towers, like freshmen, and everybody would just complain about all the hauntings, like doors slamming, people getting like their blankets pulled off of them while they're in bed.
Of course, there's also, you know, the black mold there too, but I think the ghosts are more probably scary.
Definitely more scary. Something that you can't see or hear or feel, that definitely rubs me the wrong way. I'm not for that whatsoever.
I'm convinced we're gonna start having more issues on campus because I think they're having like a medium come to Perkins Student Center, and he's gonna like he's having people, like he's hosting it like where people can come speak to ghosts, I guess is what he's doing.
Hold a seance.
And I'm just like, how do you put them back?
Oh my gosh.
We go, okay, go home now.
We're
here
actually,
now.
I'm done. You can, like, there's the door, you can go back into it.
So
Thank
I'm
you.
just like, oh, we're gonna have some issues real soon. You guys don't have ghost stories now. You will in a week.
100%.
I mean, I've heard like creepy sounds in Toss, but like that's about it. Like, I don't know. Like, Other haunted locations? I feel like this is kind of your ballpark if you want to talk about it.
Well, with Smythe Hall, it was originally designed to be like a dorm for women and stuff. I'm not too sure, but I did research apparently the 4th floor specifically in Smythe. And I speak from experience. I have been to the 4th floor, and I feel as though something might have come over me because I was definitely a little crazy when I visited. However, they say that there's like rumors of doors slamming, like same kind of thing, and like there's like scratching and poking on the floorboards and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm very grateful my freshman experience was spent in Russell and not Smythe.
So do y'all believe in the paranormal, like for real?
Yeah,
yeah,
I definitely believe in it.
Like, yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I believe in it, but I want nothing to do with it. I don't do ghosts. Absolutely not. I don't care what time of year it is, Halloween, Christmas, Easter, not for me. No
Okay,
ghosts, please
so-
and thank you.
Let it be known, we don't fuck with the paranormal.
Absolutely not.
we can say that for another day, but that was definitely a little spooky.
I feel like we just pissed off so many spirits on campus.
Yeah,
We're all
like-
gonna go back home and like just like be possessed. Like,
Yo,
No, I'm doing research
I'm
on like
sorry
they're
for real.
coming for me.
Okay, definitely spooky. I need a bit of a laugh. Let's pass it to me and Logan with your not so typical interview. Hey guys, come get ready with me and my special guest as we learn more about the cast of Real Talk and what it's like to be a student at UD. Meet our special guest.
What's up, guys? I'm Logan. I'm a junior. I'm a media comm major and a co-host of Real Talk. And today, I'm getting a spa interview.
So today, we're gonna be starting with a face mask, and then I'm gonna straighten his hair and just ask some deep life questions to get to know him better. Okay, so first, you look so pretty. So can you tell me what brought you to the University of Delaware?
In-state tuition.
Is that the only reason you want to expand on that a little bit?
My oldest brother is a UD alumni. And
Okay.
he told me about how great UD is. And it's a beautiful school, beautiful campus. And I believe in my major being media communication, there's a lot of resources that I can use here at UD.
That's a great answer.
Cold.
Okay. What is your most impactful childhood memory?
Well, when I was a young boy, I had 2 correctional eye surgeries, and being a young child, it was really traumatizing and scary. I wake up and I have to wear an eye patch until my eye is healed, and it impacted me because now I have better vision and my eyes are corrected and I can, see normally.
With your, corrected eyes, what is the most beautiful thing you've ever physically experienced, like, sight-wise?
When I did my study abroad in Hungary, I visited a lot of ancient structures and castles in Budapest and Slovakia, as well as Austria. A lot of cool architecture we don't really see here in the United States, and they're all pretty beautiful in their own ways.
What's an unconventional scent that you would get in a candle?
One that I've seen, which is pretty odd, was carrot stew. I don't like carrot stew, but it's pretty odd. Hey guys, little Logan fun fact. So I never had such luscious locks. It all started back in 2020 during quarantine. Because every haircut place was closed, I had no choice but to grow out my hair. Ever since then, I've not looked back once. Her trying to deal with this mess will be a big challenge. And that's a loud sizzle.
Have you enjoyed hosting more in Real Talk, or kind of the behind-the-scenes work with the studio?
I've only ever hosted in Real Talk, but I do behind the scenes in her other show bi-weekly. I like hosting a lot because I can express myself. And then with doing production and stuff, I can learn like new production techniques and whatnot, which could be good for my career in the future.
What's the most interesting or enjoyable class that you're taking this semester?
Probably French. In all of high school, I took Spanish, and freshman year of college, I took Spanish for a week, then I dropped it because the professor sucked.
Yeah, I also I came to college taking Italian, and then I also did like a full 180 taking French.
French.
Do you believe in love?
Yes, I believe in love. I feel like love is a foundation of what makes human beings human beings. And I feel like it's just been a common staple in the history of humanity.
Okay, so your hair's done.
Fine.
Let's go get your reaction.
All right. Wow. I feel like I'm like a rock star or something. Wow, this is definitely something. Wow. I'd say out of 10, I give it a 9. 9 out of 10. No burnt ears in the process. No burnt skin. My hair feels pretty fluffy and soft. I think this was a successful job. So, Kelsey, congratulations.
I hope you enjoyed getting to know Logan a little bit more tonight. Who should we interview next? I wonder if Logan feels like a pretty little princess, or maybe he's embarrassed because he stepped out. But don't worry, Jake is here now. We're gonna take things in a completely different direction. This one goes out to the true crime fanatics, for better or for worse. Has true crime gone too far? Are we glamorizing criminal activity? Let's talk about that, guys.
That's a very, very relevant topic to talk about, especially today with the release of the Netflix series with the Menendez brother. I've heard a lot of stuff about the director kind of butchering the portrayal of the brothers and just making them seem completely different than how they were and messing with the story a little bit.
Like the incest storyline is kind of insane.
It's a little bit weird, yeah.
Especially because they're both like, yeah, that's not true, and it's kind of, that's what kind of got me thinking about all this true crime stuff, because I do like true crime, but I feel like it needs to be done more respectfully than Ryan Murphy may be doing it.
And I think that stuff is so interesting. I think true crime is a very interesting topic. But for me, like with the Menendez brothers, I don't think I can personally watch it. I would just be too affected by it, get pretty upset. And I know also something more we want to talk about is Jeffrey Dahmer too, and like that whole series. I remember when that came out, all my friends were like, wow, like you've got to watch, it's really great. And I think it's interesting, I get why those things are put out there, so people can learn about it. It is very fascinating to learn the psychology of like a serial killer, or people like that, how they lack empathy. And that's literally how they're able to do what they do. But personally, I also couldn't watch that one because I would just be too affected and get very paranoid and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's a whole other thing too.
I haven't really seen the show about the Menendez brothers. I watched like a single episode and then I was like, I am like very upset right now. I need to
disturbing.
Yeah, it's
leave.
upsetting.
No, I couldn't watch it. I just like read about it because like I know I would be a little upset about it, and I don't really want to support like some of the things that they're saying about
like profiting off of their stories, like
like
even represented like incorrectly. Like I don't know.
like I know the Jeffrey Dahmer story. Like a huge issue with it was they didn't get consent from the victims' families, and they like misrepresented them as well. So they like really dramatize like a victim impact statement, which is such a personal thing for a victim. So it's just like you're kind of profiting off of it and you're hurting other people. And then they kind of mismarketed it too. I know Netflix originally tagged it as LGBTQ content, which is not.
Which show?
What?
Like,
the
yikes.
Jeffrey Dahmer show.
Okay.
That's
Interesting.
crazy.
Insane. And they did remove that because people were like, what are you doing?
What the hell? Because I purposely couldn't watch it because of that aspect. It's like I probably wouldn't be able to remove myself, from that
Don't
kind
think
of
that'd
narrative.
be streamed at Pride.
And something I also talked about earlier is like kind of what you guys think about like Halloween costumes. Like people were doing that, like Jeffrey Dahmer, like dressing up
I wanted to
as
talk
him.
about that too.
Yeah.
Like with Halloween coming up, should we be expecting people to be dressing as the Menendez brothers?
God,
Like
I hope not.
that is like extremely inappropriate given the circumstances of their situation. Like these are real people who experienced real trauma, and then all the stuff with Jeffrey Dahmer, like he got totally humanized in the film or the TV series, and people glamorized him and wanted to be him, dress up as him. I mean, this is a serial killer that we're talking about. This is not a celebrity or an influencer in any type of way. This is a sick person, and people wanted to dress up as him. It's not right.
And people also, people also make TikToks, like edits of the, even if it's not the real people, like of the characters, just like sexualizing and glamorizing, like.
Don't get me wrong, they are very attractive
I
actors.
mean,
And that's also something, like, did they hire them because they're attractive so that people would watch
Bring
it?
in the
They talked
audience.
about that for the Ted
And it's a
Bundy
whole
one.
marketing thing. So like we have attractive people so then they can make edits about it, which is exactly what our generation has done.
Yeah.
You know?
Just like hopping back to like wondering if people are gonna dress up as the Menendez twins, like brothers, whatever. I wonder if it does happen, if it would be brothers dressing up or a fucked up couple's costume.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, hopefully not. I honestly think maybe I'm being too optimistic about the situation. I hopefully think people won't dress up as
Yeah.
I would like to believe they
But
wouldn't.
yeah, I'm
do
thinking
that.
that's not going to be a thing.
But also,
Very
like,
random.
I found something recently. So one of my friends is a true crime girl. I was looking on Etsy to get her, like, I was like trying to find a sticker or something, like, oh, true crime lover or something.
Yeah.
And they have candles with like these serial killers' faces on them.
No way.
Like,
Wait, like the
there's-
Jesus
To
candles?
buy?
I saw Jesus candles. I saw I saw one that was like, it said sorry for the smell, and it was an actual Jeffrey Dahmer picture like on it. And I'm like, that is the freakiest, like most inappropriate thing. I'm like, this person ended so many lives. Why are we like,
How is it even
who
like,
wants
being in
that
a
candle?
store?
Not
Like,
me.
Yeah.
Ew.
And we like the serial killer's story gets advertised so often, but we don't hear about the other side of things, like the people who were impacted, and like why aren't their stories blowing up to the same extent as
These are real
the
people with
criminal.
real stories, and they're being put into a Netflix series for other people's entertainment. I mean, that's totally reliving
Yeah.
trauma, and it's
Yeah.
just, they did a lot of that, like you guys said, without the victim's consent. That's a horrible, horrible thing.
and that like comes back to like people making TikToks. There are TikTokers that talk about it. There are a lot of people that talk about this kind of stuff, and like we're trying to find more ethical ways to talk about true crime, like respecting the victim stories.
Yeah.
I know some people who cover it do like have foundations. I like the Mr. Bond Foundation. I love listening to his stories, but like it's all
is
about
that?
finding. Huh? I was on YouTube. he's really great.
Gotcha.
And like vetting stories and facts. It's like all about being respectful when you cover these topics.
Yeah, and something interesting too is in one of my classes, we talked, like in my women and gender studies classes, we talked about how like the same kind of concept, that it's usually the people that actually like did the act, whether it be a serial killer or like a murderer, that get the quote unquote like fame, or they're infamous for what they've done, but not the victim.
Yeah.
So that's not great.
It's
Yeah.
so upsetting.
Yeah, no, all these shows are definitely getting their money's worth, but now let's take it to Sierra on the street to see if the same thing is true for students at UD.
Hey guys, I'm Sierra, and today we're going around campus to see how well people know their majors. I'm going to start by asking your name and your major.
Okay. I'm Mabel Hales, and my major is food science.
My name's Zach. I'm business management with a minor in advertising.
Okay, awesome. And can you guys explain your major in 5 words?
Important, social, business. That's all I can for right now.
All right.
I'd say chemistry, hands-on, foodie, engineering, and fun.
Okay, awesome. On a scale of 1 to 10, how prepared were you on your last exam?
Last exam, 1 to 10, probably like a 8.
Okay. Awesome.
I'd say
Okay. Okay, and then what's one common jargon you use?
I say bless a lot. Like if I were to be like saying like thanks or like awesome, I'd be like bless.
Okay.
Just about the major or
Yeah,
anything?
major.
Oh, about the major. Cut that out.
Okay, and then can you explain the last topic your professor covered?
Last topic. So I was in food chemistry on Friday, and we were talking about different frying oils and different lipids. That's what we were talking about Friday.
We were talking about how teams work together and like what specific attributes like team members can complement each other with, and how what it takes for like a successful team to work well together.
What does it take?
It takes so there's something called person position fit. So like when you're building a team, electing the right people that have like specific attributes that work well together is really important when you're building a team.
Thank you, guys.
My name is Hamza. I'm in biochem.
Okay, and then can you explain your major in 3 words?
Well, I would say pre-med.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how prepared were you before your last exam?
7.
Okay, that's good.
All right, and what's one common jargon you use?
I'll say diagnose.
Okay. And then explain the last topic your professor covered.
Last topic. It was looking.
Okay. And your name and major?
I'm Derek Phillips, and my major is sports management.
Okay, and then can you explain your major in 3 words?
Sports, management, and fun.
And on a scale of 1 to 10, how well did you know your material before your last?
It was alright.
Okay.
I knew it a little bit.
Name one famous person in your field.
I'd say Patrick Moore.
What's one common jargon you use?
I don't know. Just work hard, I guess.
And then explain the last topic your professor covered.
Economics, and that was applying methods. Yeah.
Can I get your names and majors?
You first. Me? Alright. I'm Ethan Rocco, and I'm a chemical engineer. And I'm Michael Labode, and I'm a kinesiology major.
All right, explain your majors in 5 words.
Painful. Long, horrendous. But interesting.
One more.
And tiring. Okay, and I'll actually explain my major. The study of human movement.
And then on a scale of 1 to 10, how low did you know your material before your last exam?
6. Say like 8.
All right, and name one famous person in your field.
DuPont. John Gallucci.
What does he do?
He actually started the JAG physical therapy chain. It's one of the biggest chains. DuPont originally made like a system to use the river to flow for gunpowder and everything. They have a lot of land over there.
Okay, and what's one common jargon you use?
Cooked. Kinetic chain.
And then explain the last topic your professor covered.
Entropy balances. We talk about how a system and energy flows in and out of the system, especially when like random chance and spontaneity. We were on the nervous system and anatomy, so we were just talking about like autonomic nervous system. So when you get the fight or flight response.
So are UD students getting the most out of their educational experience here? I guess that could be up to personal experience. Speaking of personal experiences, Melania Trump recently released a memoir in which she directly addresses abortion and a woman's right to choose. Is this suspiciously timed with the upcoming election to rein in more leftist audiences? Let's talk about that.
Well, I've been dying to talk about this for a hot minute now, ever since I saw the interview with Melania Trump.
Okay, then go off.
In an interview pre-release to her memoir, Melania stated that she was pro-choice on the matter of abortion. She actually made a quote that says, "Restricting a woman's right to choose whether to terminate an unwanted pregnancy is the same as denying her control over her own body. I have carried this belief with me throughout my entire adult life." Now, first of all, period. Thank you, Melania Trump, for that. Second of all, what's going on here? Because the platform that Trump and Vance have been advocating for the election and everything is very anti-pro-choice, and I just don't really understand it. The dots aren't really connecting here.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of questions that are raising with this memoir, specifically with this statement and the pro-choice that she has made.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because like on the one hand, I've always somewhat thought that she like does not want to be with him in the slightest. I mean, who would, first of all?
I get the energy too, even though I don't like obviously personally know her.
Yeah, but like
she looks like physically uncomfortable or like even just like bored of him.
Yeah,
like,
and
her
like
eye contact, her eye movements.
Yeah,
a lot of that nonverbal communication.
Like every single picture, like does not want to be around him. And again, like who would?
Right.
But like being as she is his wife. Hello.
I mean, it's also possible, and maybe this is me being optimistic here, that like I'm sure that when you're associated with somebody, it's often believed that you have the same belief systems and stuff, and she might want to put an end to that and be like, you know what, no, I don't share this belief. And like I
just married him for the money.
She could have really, she could have done that for that. But yeah, I do think it's very interesting that this statement was released. It just kind of makes me feel like, okay, great. I'm great that she stands for that and that she feels comfortable enough to share that with the world and what she believes in. That's great. But like, what has she been doing? You know, when she was in office, then like she didn't speak up against that. But maybe she felt like she couldn't. I know politics is honestly like quite corrupt, like the system. So maybe they just like people in that world, or Trump's people, whatever, were just like, you cannot speak on this. Like, even though you believe that, we're not going to allow that. No public releases of that. You may believe that, that's fine, but like, we're not going to make that known because it's going to complicate things. I mean, it's a whole messy world. There's so many things that go on behind closed doors that we don't know about. So I honestly assume that could be the case with this situation.
Because it probably looks bad that she's going against her husband's platform, and I'm sure that they knew that.
I mean, regardless, it is very inspirational for women all across our country, for someone of such a high position to be making these statements so publicly. It's a very good thing. However, it also begs the question, recently Trump has kind of redacted a few of his statements on like abortion banning throughout the country, and he's kind of gone back a little bit after all of the insane claims that he's made thus far. I mean, I remember during the debate he talked about abortions after giving birth, and I was just like, do you know what you're talking about? Like, do you know anything like on this topic? It just didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah,
so
that's not a thing.
Yeah, I'm just kind of thinking like, is this whole thing a campaign tactic? Like, I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense.
The timing is very interesting
It is
to
very
release
suspicious.
the
We're
memoir.
on to their games. We're on to their games.
So I don't know about that.
No, suspicious. The math isn't really mathing there.
Agreed. It's also just very sad that abortion is such a huge topic in politics right now. Like, this is a fundamental right for human beings. Why are we dwelling on it so heavily? I don't understand.
It's honestly ridiculous. To me, it makes common sense. Like, the more I talk about it, the more my blood starts to boil.
No,
I'm
literally.
a woman myself, but I feel that pain for my girlfriends.
No,
you know,
because
I just like,
why is
why is it a topic of discussion?
It should not be
politics
debated.
is like,
it's not about men. Like,
politics
men
is
don't
deciding
have,
on like a school curriculum or whatever, which also is a whole other situation with book bans, whatever. Politics is not human rights, whether someone is a person, whether someone gets to decide or not on like their own body. Like, human rights should not be politicized, and they've become so politicized and polarizing, and it's really sickening.
And it doesn't matter what anyone thinks except the person going through it. Like, I can say, like, personally, I don't know if I would make that choice, but I'm so, like, everyone else deserves to make that decision for themselves.
Everyone has a different situation. There's a lot of like horrible stories that I've heard of specific instances. And I've seen this interview. I don't know if you guys have seen it too. I forget who the girl is or who the guy is. I think the guy he's definitely in politics. The girl is somewhere around our age. And she's interviewing him. It's like a one-on-one, and there's people in the background. And she keeps making point after point. And she's like, are you kidding me right now?
I know what you're talking about.
She's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Because he was just like, nope. She was like, if it was your own daughter. And he was still like being...
She would give birth to the baby.
Yeah.
I remember this.
And I was like,
I've seen that.
It's appalling.
No,
and you
literally.
can see the frustration in her eyes and in her face. And it's just like, ugh. But yeah, it's just like, why is this even a topic of discussion? It's like
how many times has a man's rights been up for debate with politics and stuff? Like,
and it's all these old white men making decisions about women's bodies. What do they know about nothing?
I mean, Rachel Green said it best. No uterus, no opinion. Come on.
Exactly.
Literally, it's not your place. It's never been your place unless you're that person.
And childbirth is supposed to be one of the most like painful things a human being can go through.
Have you ever got kicked in the balls though?
Yeah. Like, have you guys seen those things? I know it's like a little bit unrelated, but like to like lighten the mood a little bit. I don't know if you guys have seen like literally police officers or even just like men of all kinds and shapes and sizes. They go onto these like period cramp things and they like can't take it. And that's a period cramp. You cannot handle a birth without.
Okay,
and you're making decisions.
Oh, I know. Like literally shut the fuck up. But okay, there is definitely a lot more that could be unpacked on this, but unfortunately that is all the time we have for tonight. I've been your host, Kelsey. Until our next talk on October 30th, keep it real out there, Newark. Bye.